So, hello everybody. Welcome to Empowerment Talk. This is episode 14. I am so happy and elated to be here. I have a special guest with me today, and what can I say about her? She is a nice, amazing woman that I've gotten to know of. We met each other through a mutual friend and we've become acquainted with each other. I love her spirit. I like talking to her. She's a very relatable person. I am happy to share this time with her to you guys so that you guys can know a little bit more about her business and what she does and that she can shed some light and some wisdom on us today. We all know what empowerment talk is. This is not lectures, but this is a dialogue. This is conversation. So we should, this is a platform where this is like a safe place. This is where you can be able to get like some advice or some help, some tools. And this is a non-judgmental zone. We don't judge nobody on here, okay? Because nobody is perfect. Everybody is imperfect, and we're here to strive for the best. Like strive in whatever way your character, strive in your businesses, strive in whatever thing that you have going on in your life or that you need help with. You know, empowerment is all about empowering you. Okay, so I am excited to get this going and to introduce my guest. Her name is Brenda. And Brenda, I want to, before we get into our topic, I want her to talk about, herself and her business and before we can go into the topic. Okay. So Brenda, you got the floor.
I'm nervous when I talk about things like this. But I started my business in 2016. I started with a partner. We worked together for about 2 years, but it didn't work out. And right around the time that we broke up, not only the business, we broke our friendship. My brother had passed like 2 months later. So I just went into a depression and I really didn't do too much of anything. And I got to the point of like, okay, what are you going to do with this? You've invested so much time and energy into your business. What are you going to do? Are you just going to, because you don't have anyone with you, you're just going to let it go? And I prayed on it and I meditated and I asked my friends, and my family members, they were like, just go for it. You should do it. You were doing it before you even met her. You just took it to another level with her and you can take it the rest of the way. So I did. The first year I did a farmer's market for the whole summer. Almost killed myself because I had no idea what I was doing. And I have anxiety, so I would like not sleep the whole night before. Mm-hmm. And it was something, but the amazement that people were like buying my product. It's like, you take, what do you say, whatever your passion is, that's your gift. That's what God has, gift He's given you. And you have to take it seriously. And I never took my cooking seriously because I literally have been cooking since I was 6 years old. So I started to take myself seriously. And, I was almost scared to charge people. Whoever had business with me in the beginning of 2019, they got off like a fat rat because I was selling things for like next to nothing, because it just was, I just couldn't believe somebody would want to buy this, even though it was good. And then after that, I started doing other events and bigger events, and the word started to get out, and I started getting like catering gigs, like with regular food, not just sweets. And I started off with brownies. That was my specialty. It still is. Then I just went to cakes and to cookies, and I just been going ever since, a little more ever since. I had took on another partner, but she wasn't a partner. I let her co-sell with me doing something, and that didn't work out. So in all of last year, pretty much was on my own, and I succeeded, and I'm proud of myself.
Yes.
I actually made money last year. It's the first time I cleared a profit, double what I had made the year before.
Wow.
Yeah. And it feels good. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to trust yourself, and not be afraid to step out. I mean, it is, you don't have a lot of money. You're by yourself. Everything is a big thing. It's not like, well, I'm going to buy. No, you have to make your decisions. Okay, if I buy a stove, so, I have to buy this equipment. I have to buy this. I have to do that. I have to do that.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you realize how serious you're taking what you're doing. You know, and a lot of time I just fell back on God. Honey, I fell back on faith.
Yes.
I had to trust in God because every time I think a door was closed, He would open up one for me.
Yes.
And when He opened it for me, I had to ask Him to give me courage to go through it.
Yeah. To be strong and courageous in this. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. So what's the name of your business, Brenda?
Masterclass Savory Sweet Foods. I named it Masterclass because my grandmother taught me everything I know about cooking. She literally put a spoon in my hand when I was 6 years old and stood me on a milk crate and told me to stir the bowl. And I made my first cake by myself when I was 9. So I've just been cooking my whole life. And she gave me a total masterclass in cooking. This is how you do this. And my grandma was a renowned cook. My grandmother was she was raised on a sharecroppers plantation. And she had brothers and sisters, and her older sister went away to teaching college. So she was home and she had to cook all the meals. I thought I was doing something, making a full meal at 12. She was making full meals when she was 9.
Wow.
Because she had like 9 brothers and sisters. Because her parents had to work the fields.
It was different back then from what it is now,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That cooking.
And she learned a lot. She moved to Greenville, and she met a man who would like mold her life a lot. His name was Harding Carter Sr. He was a Pulitzer Prize winning writer for Southern writing. He did a lot of Southern writing. He owned the newspaper of the town. And at the time he met her, she was a cook in one of the hotels. And he said, who made this? Bring her out here. And he brought my grandmother out. He said, I'm going to hire you. I want you to work for me. I want you to come out to my plantation. I want you to be my cook. My grandmother was like, she's like, I quit. And she went and worked for him. And because he had a big, huge 20-room mansion, it looked like terror. I used to go for like I was going in a castle or something. His kitchen was like a whole floor.
Wow.
And he had these dignitaries that would come and visit him. And so he would bring these chefs in to teach my grandmother how to cook for these people. So that's how she learned, and she taught me.
So she was your inspiration?
Very much so. Yes, very much so. Because my mother was very, she's ambitious, but in another way. My mother didn't cook. My mother was always working. That's why I learned to cook. She worked, and I learned from her about having a work ethic. You have to have a strong work ethic to even start a business. If you have, excuse the expression, half-ass do anything, don't start a business. Because doing a business you have to be constant. You have to be just every little thing, any little thing can be a huge thing. I mean, all the way down to buying supplies. You just have to be very meticulous.
Sure.
And because you don't have any money to waste, it's imperative that you're meticulous. Yeah, I got stuck with like 200 cake boxes that were like, I didn't read it correctly. They're big as my hand. I'm still using but you learn. But I credit the fact that I had these people that taught me to work hard for what you want and to try not to be afraid. My grandma said, call on God when you're afraid. You walk with courage. And that's what I did. But it was something. I love seeing business women, especially Black women, running their businesses. We're so talented.
Yes, we are.
I really didn't even know it until I started doing craft shows or events. We're just so talented. And I see that so many of us don't take it seriously. We don't take our talent seriously. And it's a beautiful thing. I met so many wonderful, wonderful people,
Mhm.
wonderful women.
Yeah, yeah. And thank you for that because that is true. We are talented people, and then we need to use our gifts. And uh, talking about this, like that's going to lead us right now into our topic, the Renaissance woman. That's the name of
Mm-hmm.
our topic today, the Renaissance woman. Me and Brenda talked about this prior to our podcast today, but I think that this is something that we should talk about. I mean, I think this is something let's and when this came up, this was something that hit home for me because too, I also had a mother and a grandmother that were single parents, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw them wear many hats, and that's what we're going to describe the Renaissance woman as, wearing many hats. And when we thought of this topic, I went to, I like to define things first. So I go
Mm-hmm.
back and I do a research, and it describes basically a Renaissance woman as having a wide range of abilities and interests. So
Mm-hmm.
hence many hats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many kinds of responsibilities. And for me growing up, my mom and my grandmother, I seen them do that. Every story is different. So, but they actually portrayed, or they were, and they given me a lot of strength because they had to persevere. They have to be strong. I mean, they didn't really have their own businesses, and that's something that we also have to think about by breaking generational curses and stuff like that, and going for higher things. You always should aim higher. You know what I mean? Like, as
Mm-hmm.
far as, like, although my grandmother, my mother, it didn't establish it, I'm going to establish it, and then my
Mm-hmm.
kids will establish even more. You want the more for your kids and the rest of your lineage to come. So, but they did show that strength. They did have ambition. They worked hard, and that character that we need even as business people, business women, entrepreneurship roles, to sacrifice. It's a sacrificial thing. And you have to, I mean, they were not just strong, they were strong in character, but they also was independent women. And there was a mother,
Mm-hmm.
there was a daughter at the time, well, they, when their parents were alive, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
like, they had many other responsibilities that they had to take care of, church responsibilities, other things. And so
Mm-hmm.
I did see that in them, as we talk about wearing many hats. And even as I am today, a mother, an entrepreneurial person, I'm a daughter, student, employee, that you just have so many different kind of responsibilities. And even in just that business role, there's a lot of things that come under that umbrella. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be the accountant. You got to be, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Your own
You got to,
cheerleader,
yeah, you got
your
to be
own
your,
advertiser. I had to teach
yes.
myself all of this stuff, honey. Yes, how to do photo shoots. I taught myself that. Yes, YouTube is your best friend.
You got to be
Yes,
a tech savvy person in kind of way when you're trying to get
yes.
on these.
And if you
Um,
don't, I would never hesitate to get a For Dummies book for anything, because like I don't get it. Let me find a For Dummies book and go by step. Let me do the basics.
yeah, so it's different roles, like, yeah, in wearing, different mini hats. And so, Brenda, I want you to expound on yours. Like, what are your mini hats, and how do you prioritize that?
Um, I started working when I was 16. I was working in a flower shop, so I was like learn how to create, bouquets and everything. Then I have the job I have now. I work for a parking company, and I've been with the company for 38 years, and I've worn many hats in that company: supervisor, garage attendant, scheduler, data entry. I did so many different things, and I learned about business. Even more than that, I learned about business ethics and their lack of. I learned how to just look at this, how you deal with customers.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years at my job. I can size a person up in 3.6 seconds. Uh, and my first venture into my first business, I started just making gift baskets. I wasn't very good, but I persevered. This is a little bit before we had the internet right in our hands. So I used to go to the library, buy all these books, and I learned how to. I used my background with making bouquets to make the baskets, and I did with that for a while until I had got ill. I had knee replacements. It was a long process, but I still what sustained me was the cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking was always the thing that I fell back on. It's like, okay, I can't work because I have to take off 2 or 3 months at a time to heal, but I can wheel this wheelchair in and make my family dinner so I don't feel so useless.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to do that. Um, while I was off doing that, I started doing term papers for students. I found out someone needed term papers. So I started doing term papers just to make side money. I learned how that goes. Um, I was involved in the rape victims advocate. I became a crisis hotline worker for the YWCMA for rape victims. That's something that's very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, but at the end of the day, it's always cooking that was easy. And because of something that's easy, you don't take it seriously. But what started me really back to cooking again was a lady asked me when I make a cake for her because I used to bring treats to work all the time, and she's paid me for it. I'm like, "What are you giving me this money for?" She's like, "You made this cake. This is delicious." And I was like, you had like, and them aha moments. So I slowly but surely started
Aha.
to put the word out, and I got orders, and it just amazed me that happened. And I was like, maybe you have something there, but you got to believe in you.
Yeah.
So
So true.
all of these things that I experienced, they've helped me with this because my mom she worked for a phone company for years, and then she started being a bartender, and a cocktail waitress in her that's a part-time job, and she turned around and she bought a bar.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandma, when she was on the plantation there, she started cooking dinners because she wanted to move to a bigger town. And she had juke joints. I mean, like the color purple, the juke joint. My grandma had a juke joint. She would
Oh,
run it off.
wow.
She would sell chicken dinners and moonshine. And she saved for a year until she saved $1,500 and she moved to Greenville, Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's
And
she
then
from?
she was born in a place called Silver Lake Plantation. And it was right outside of about 100 miles outside of Greenville, Mississippi, which is like the Delta. It's right between Memphis and Jackson.
Okay.
It's a pretty big town. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then she moved there, and she wore a lot of hats. She not only did she cook, she said she had to be a butcher. She had to butcher meat because she needed a job. She had a kid to take care of.
Yeah.
So I've learned to be flexible and to believe in yourself with these women. My aunts, I have cousins that are just, they're tremendous, strong women, and I feed off of them. I listen to what they do and listen to what they say and their advice, and I just watch the way they lead their lives. You know, um, I'm very, I have a firm belief that you should have people in your life that can give you something.
That's
You
right.
know,
And that's what I was going to ask you too, Brenda. I'm sorry to cut you off about support. You can tell me about that, or those the supportive people that you have in your life in terms of your business or your
mm-hmm.
mini hats.
Yes, my family are very supportive of what I do. They give me a lot of advice. I watch how they do business. I have friends. I've met other vendors who've become very good friends of mine. We help and inspire each other. Other cooks. I got invited to a restaurant. I just worked with this. I just watched this guy cook all day long, and I didn't do anything. He just said, "I just want you to watch me and see what I do," because I had never worked in a professional kitchen before, and I was amazed. It was really cool. But he took the time to because he wanted me to say, "Brenda, you need to take this seriously. I'm gonna show you what I do. If I can do this, you can do this." He said, "I don't even have a high school education, but I can run this
Wow.
kitchen."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, it's just important to have people in your life that are going to inspire you to do good things. Birds of a feather do flock together. If you go into church and you go in and hit the pipe, there's no connection here. You can be unevenly yoked in friendship as well as in marriage.
That is so true. Come on, Brenda. That is so true. Equally yoked. That's what we're looking for. Equally yoked connections. That's what we need, because being connected to the right people, I mean, you guys can do amazing things. Like that's why his Bible talks about always being on one accord with one another, because there is power in unity. There is power in agreement. And so that's when you'll see the fruit of your labor. You'll see you prosper and you do well in the things, especially when you are in agreement with somebody on your team or in your business or in your life. And I do encourage that too, because even the Bible says that. And we try to come from not only our personal experiences, but let's come from a spiritual perspective on these things. Because that is what is going to build us up. That's what is going to help us in knowing that it's going to keep us strong, like you say, strong and courageous in our efforts in our businesses, so we can see we can see it, Matt. We can see the greatness of it. We can see where it goes to, because we're not just going to be here on this level for so long, but we are intending to take our business higher and higher. And one of those things, one of the things that we need to have is to have a good support system as well. When you were talking about that, it's good to have a support team and somebody that can encourage you even when you're feeling like you're not getting to the place where you need to be. When I even started my business, and I'll just share this a little bit, when I started Shift to Empowerment, it's like almost 2 years, but it can get discouraging, and I'm not gonna doll it up. I'm not gonna dance around it. I'm gonna be very honest and transparent. It can be discouraging because you're giving so much of your time and effort and you want to see return. Excuse me. And you want to see that everything comes together, and you want to see a return, basically. And so when you don't see that at that time, you have to be patient and you have to put forth effort into your business, and we have to know that there's a process to this, and be okay with the process.
Right. Yeah. And don't be discouraged, and don't be so hard on yourself.
Right.
It's okay to make mistakes. You're going to learn from it. And I ask myself when I screw up something, I say, okay, what did you learn from this? What do you know? What did you learn from this? If nothing, not just don't do that again. What did you learn from this? What can you take from this? Okay, so not to do it this way, you'll do it another way. Or next time you'll check for someone else's advice, or you'll do a little more research. But it's not the end of the world,
Exactly.
You have to really, man, you have to be your own best friend. That's all I can say. You really do.
And we have a lot of businesses out here. Let us talk about like Black businesses and how we should support one another. And I'm a big believer in that. Like, I think we as a Black community, that we should support one another, but we also have to, and I'm gonna say this in the most loving way. Okay. We don't have to shut each other down. Like, don't tear down your sister, your brother. Be in support. Like, if it's, let's have a whole dialogue, like have a clear, effective communication with one another, as is in terms of either support or partnering or that sort of thing. Let's let's show each other support and love and not tear each other down, because we have seen that in the Black community, and we don't want that to continue on. I don't.
And how you respond to it.
Right.
How you respond to it. People are going to say, like, Swinton, how's your little business going? You could at first you're like, then you're like, you know what? That's okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm blessed.
That's
because
right.
If somebody has to be on their knees for you to be tall, there's something wrong there. It's really something wrong there. Yeah. I would never belittle someone or not take them seriously of what they're doing, because I know how much I put into it. So I respect, if you want to put balloons in the trees and you think it's a business there. Well, do it until you figure out it is or it's not, or how to make money. But I'm not going to laugh at you and say it's not, because I don't know what inspired you to do that. I don't know what your end game is. I've met so many people that are supportive and so many that are not. I work with some people with different vendors, and we're both Black women, and they don't even acknowledge you, and that's so sad. Why not? I don't understand that. We're doing the same thing. We're not even in competition. Why are you not acknowledging me? If I speak to you, you mumble and you look away. I don't know what that is.
That can be a part of self-hatred too.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Um, how can you not show appreciation? You know what I mean? How can you not do that to another sister, or you know what I mean, or show support? How can you not? So you question that. And what came to my mind too is like, how many leadership positions do Black women have? How many do we have? Not sure. I'm not sure, but for those of us that are even out here, let's show support to one another, and let's love and encourage one another. I support Black businesses all the time. And, listen, I'm here to, as we support each other, we need to also uplift each other in our roles and in everything that we do. But, I also want to ask you this one last question before we wrap it up, Brenda. And this is, what advice would you give to someone who's been in the Renaissance role out there, for the viewers that will see this? What advice would you give to them?
Think about all the things that you've done and what is your main line there, because it's a main line in everything that you do. It's something that's a common denominator in all of these things. What has gotten you through? For me, it's pretty much been my personality. I am a personal person. I talk to everyone. I try to always be nice and respectful. And that has helped me in every hat I've ever worn, right up until what I'm doing now. You have to be able to talk to people, communicate, look them in the eye, and then whatever your product is, stand by your product. Somebody's like, oh, I don't like this. This is too okay. Well, I'm sorry you didn't like this. I didn't make anything that you like, but maybe next time when you come by, I have something that you like. And keep it moving. Don't take it personal. Everything can be a learning experience for you. But you got to believe in yourself, trust in God, and even if you think you're going off the path, there's a lesson in that too. Sometimes you have to sit back, stand back, and just, look at the world and just like, okay, God, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but show me.
Yeah.
And my grandma used to have a saying. She said, when you ask God to show you something, ask Him for the courage for you to take it, because you may not like what He shows you.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yes. You may not like it, but it's the truth. And you can take from it what you have. You can take it. Okay, you know what? I am too strident. I am just too stuck in my ways. I need to figure out how to undo that, to make myself better, to get to the next stage in my life, to get to the next step. Being brutally honest with yourself, that will get you everywhere. That will get you everywhere, because you need to know. Don't lie to yourself. You don't want anybody to lie to you. Don't lie to you either.
Right.
Be truthful with yourself.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not a good speaker, but you know what? That's something that you can work on. I get nervous. I know I meander off the subject because I get nervous when I'm doing public speaking. Even this Zoom meeting is like, I'm have to go have some wine. Yeah, but if you and I were talking just one-on-one, I would be more, I'd be more articulate.
It's an adjustment for sure. Yeah, it's an adjustment for sure.
Speaker. Yeah, I'm not a public speaker, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
Respect your abilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
And love you. You're a great person. I love what you're doing. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you, Brenda.
I
appreciate it. And before we leave, I want you to share your social media handles, if you have any, and then where can they contact you at?
Okay. I do Instagram and Facebook. I'm trying to get the courage to do TikTok because my friend like when you do TikTok, they're gonna blow you up. I'm like, I don't need anybody giving me 1,000 orders, and I'm looking like a duh, So I'm just waiting to do that. But my masterclass on Facebook. It's facebook.com masterclass. I mean MSS Foods slash. On Instagram, it's instagram.com MSS underscore foods. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's your
But yeah,
contact information too?
my contact information, I can be reached on my business line is 224-805-9437. My email address is masterclass savory sweet at gmail.com. I'm in the process of getting my website. It's almost done. I have somebody working on it with me,
Oh,
and it
nice.
should be up next month. Yeah. So it's slow. I just take rather to go slow and easy, and don't not overwhelm myself because I get overwhelmed really quickly. So I have to learn to pace myself. And you do too.
Yep. Yes, yes. And it
Mm-hmm.
helps, and it helps us. And so yeah, I appreciate you coming on today, Brenda. Hopefully we can have you back on again.
And I don't know. I feel like I did a horrible job. I feel like I did a horrible job, and I hope you can
did great. This is,
this.
you know how this is a podcast. Like this is something that we are able to join in together on in conversation, and just to be a helpful tool or resource to other people. And just to let people know about you, how of an amazing person you are, and your business, and the things that you got going on for yourself. I think it's tremendous. And we ought to share that with the world. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And
we need to pat ourselves on the back.
yeah, because you're doing a great job. I think so. Yeah, so what else I was gonna say? This is episode 14. Our next episode is just for announcements. Episode 15, we're coming on next month, second Saturday in March. And I look forward to everyone coming on then. And I want everybody to be blessed. I want everybody to be encouraged. And I love you guys. And I want to thank Brenda again for coming on today. Next time she gonna come in and she gonna be prepared next time. Okay. She ain't gonna be shy, nothing like that. No shyness here. We gonna be on. We gonna look. Okay.
Yeah, I'll drink my wine first. Yes. I will drink my wine first, honey. Then you'd be like, you know what? Yeah.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming on today, Brenda.
Okay,
And
I appreciate you having me. And you're doing a great job, honey. Yeah, I see big things for you.
oh, thank you. And we'll see you guys again until next time. Bye-bye.
Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.